Bobtailing in the snow is something you should probably avoid if you possibly can. It can be tricky with just the tractor on a snowy, slippery road, and the problem is weight distribution. This video is sponsored by GP Transco. When the tractor is sitting bobtail, all the weight on the tractor is up at the front. It's on the steering axle because that's where the engine is, the cab, the breathers, the sleeper, the fuel tanks, all the weight is up front when you're bobtailing. And there is very little weight on the back, just where the drives are, very little weight at all. And the problem is, on a slippery road when you're bobtailing, the back end can just come out really easily. So you've got to be really careful. Tractors are not designed to bobtail in snow and bad weather. So when you are bobtailing one of these things and it's slippery, stay off the brake pedal as much as you possibly can, because that as well can kick the back end around if the wheels lock up and she starts to slip and slide. Tractors are designed to run with a trailer on the back, with the weight of the trailer on the back. That's part of the reason. They're just not set up to run in snow and slippery weather. One of the best ways to combat that is to slow down. I never exceed the speed limit when I'm bobtailing in the snow. In fact, I usually run 10, 20 miles below it depending on the conditions. It's important when you're bobtailing in the snow to make sure you've got really good steering axle tires with lots of tread, because that's your best defense. If that's going to help you keep straight on the road, it's going to be those good steering axle tires. Another trick for bobtailing in the snow is keeping your fuel tanks full. That extra weight will help keep you glued to the road. This truck in particular, on an average truck, carries about 2,000 pounds worth of fuel. That extra 2,000 pounds is going to help you. And something else you should do is keep your foot off the brake pedal as much as possible. When you need to slow down, use the jake, rely on the jake, and if you've got a gear shift, use the gears to slow down. Stay away from the brake pedal. 2023 is going to be a tough year for trucking. It's important that you be with a good, solid carrier that can keep you busy year-round and has the load so you can still make money. First-year drivers at GP Transco make between $80,000 and $90,000 a year. They've got a great benefit package, a 401k with a match, and top-notch equipment. And they hire owner-operators too. You've got to be with a solid carrier when the economy's slow. Check out GP Transco at gptransco.com. Another secret to bobtailing in the snow is focus. You've got to stay focused on what you're doing. You've got to keep your attention on the road. It takes a split second for the wheels to kick out at the back, or for the steering axle to grab track and run off in a different direction, a direction you don't want to go. You've got to stay focused on the drive. I like to keep two hands on the wheel when I'm driving bobtail in the snow and pay full attention to what's going on in front of me, and the feel of the truck is important, because if you feel it start to kick out, you've got to be able to correct it right away. A couple other tricks to remember. Now, I've told you to keep your foot off the brake pedal, but it's especially important to keep your foot off the brake pedal if you're tracking downhill on a slope, because that makes it even more volatile and the back end will kick out even faster. Another trick I do when I'm bobtailing in snow, if it's at night, you know that the tail lights on the tractor are going to fill up and pack in with snow as you travel. That just happens, you can't avoid it. So aside from stopping every once in a while and keeping those tail lights clean, I run my back bunk lights, the red lights, not the white lights, but the red lights, and that gives me extra visibility to traffic behind me. Those lights are up a little higher, they never fill in with snow, and it's a good way to let traffic know that they're coming up on a slow bobtail. Finally, when I'm coming into the fall and I know winter's approaching, fall is my favorite time to change all the rubber. It's especially important because then you've got maximum tread in the snow, not just for bobtailing, but even for regular trailer trucking. When you've got the trailer on, you need traction on the hills. So if you need new rubber, put it on in the fall so it's at its maximum tread when you hit the wintertime, and pay special attention to those steering axle tires. Don't cheap out on those. Bobtailing in the snow is a high intensity drive. You've got to be paying attention. It's not like trailer trucking down the highway and enjoying the scenery. You've got to be focused on the drive 100% of the time and run the truck slowly. Stay safe, keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you on the back haul.